I've left this trip to the airport to the very last second. Unfortunately, I went to the wrong place to drop my rental car off, and now I'm having to get a bus from the rental car company back to the airport. Then I've got to find a trolley because my luggage is buggered, and I'll tell you more about that a little bit later on, and hopefully make this flight. I managed to get here about an hour and 15 minutes before the flight departs. I was very quickly checked in, and now I'm up here in this lounge. It's been nominated for Europe's leading airport lounge this year, and with very good reason too. It's huge. The food buffet is sensational, and when you come here, you've got to have these bread rolls. They're typically Austrian, as far as I know. Of course, you've got your hams, your sausage meat, your cheese for breakfast, some hash browns, plenty of beverages, a good bar which you can imbibe at this time of day, and what are we now? Not even 9:30 yet. But yeah, I'm very impressed with this lounge. Hats off to you, Vienna, for putting on such a great spread. Oh, and I highly commend the citron cake. And get this, there's an open deck where you can sit with fresh air and look out at the planes. That's fantastic. There's even a kids lounge. Now, my Air France ticket gets me automatic entry into this lounge, but don't despair if you'd like to come here and you're not travelling business, because they have a summer special here for €35 per adult. You can stay for 3 hours, or €59 if there's 2 of you. Now, if you're a drinker and a big eater, I think that's pretty good value. Plus, it's a very comfortable space to spend your time waiting for your flight. It's just occurred to me that some of you might be thinking, why is he going to Paris when the next race is at Silverstone in Britain? Now, I'm meeting a friend, and get this, I've got this shirt inside out. Why didn't someone tell me? Fixed.
Bonjour monsieur, bienvenue à bord.
Beautiful plane. Well, I'm thrilled to say that this is virtually a brand new plane. It had its first flight on the 22nd of March this year, and it looks pristine. In business class there are 3 rows, but only 10 seats. The middle seat here is blocked out, and the 2 seats on the other side, they only put 1 person in. So if you get the choice, the other side is probably a better deal. And seat 1D and 1F are great because they've got longer leg room, as is 2A. This is still comfortable here. Another nice touch is there's USB and USB-C charging points on the seat in front. This aircraft seats anywhere from 130 to 160, depending on how it's fitted out. So upon being seated, we're offered a small bottle of water and a towelette. This is a great innovation, this little phone holder in the seat back. There's one drawback, however, is when you put your phone into the top position and clamp it down, it puts pressure on the volume buttons, and it means the volume eventually goes off. Now, all US airlines, I want you to pay attention to what's coming out here for lunch on a flight that is 1 hour and 49 minutes long. Very tasty quinoa salad, some lovely bread, cheese and butter, and topped off with a very chocolatey chocolate tart and Pommery champagne, which you'd expect on a French airline. Thanks.
Bye-bye, sir. Did you
Watch my
enjoy your
video.
time?
I did, it was excellent. Well, that was a great flight. Beautiful aircraft, great staff. Thank you, Caroline. Now I've got to go and find my luggage, 2 bags, which are hopefully here, head to my hotel and catch up with a friend in a couple of hours. This gentleman's meeting me here at the airport and driving me to the hotel. There are some civil problems here and lots of army and police on the street, I think, so I'll be keen to see exactly how that plays out when I go for a wander around the city tomorrow. He's looking at his phone, he's reading notes. Throw my bag in the back of the car. I'll be thankful to get to the hotel. I always love the moment in Paris when I first set eyes on the Eiffel Tower, or as the locals would say, La Tour Eiffel, and it's just got to be around a corner here somewhere, I'm pretty sure. Well, there it is just behind us. What a sight. And my hotel is just here. For those of you who watch all of my videos, you'll remember I reviewed this one last year and said it was fantastic. The best part is that downstairs lobby area, just glorious. And why have I ended up here in Paris of all places when the next race is in Silverstone? Well, I'm here to catch up with a good friend of mine, indeed my lovely wife Tonya, who's also here with her sister Natalie, who's just coming downstairs now. That's Natalie. She's from Melbourne. Anyway, today we're going to have a quick wander around Paris, just a little mini tour, and you're going to join us. Behind me is something quite magnificent. It's part of a promotion here for Louis Vuitton. in the centre of Paris. One of my favourite labels. So far I've seen nothing to indicate that there are riots going on anywhere at the moment, except there are some boarded up buildings behind me and across the road here. And while most of the stores are boarded with wood, this one's actually got metal in front of it. It's an optician. I actually stayed in this area going back 15 years ago, and we used to come to this bakery every morning. We're here for 2 weeks. So my wife has a picture of the guy that ran it along with one of his staff with my boys. And we came in here to show this lady here this picture to say, where is the boss? And she looked at the picture and said, my God, that's me, in French. So this was the lady behind the counter here. And 15 years ago, she was working here, still working here today, and it was such a lovely thing that her face lit up when she saw the picture. This owner's not going to be happy. Well, I spent 2 lovely nights in Paris and I've seen no riots whatsoever. Now it's time to head to Britain for the Silverstone race. I can tell you I'm going on the Eurostar, and perhaps even more interestingly, I'm using a mob called Virtuo for my car rental. And the interesting thing about this mob is that you don't see a human. There's no desk. There's no interaction, there's no having to stand around for 10 minutes. I simply head to this car park, and an hour before my car is ready, they send me a link telling me which floor it's on and what bay. So I shouldn't have to speak to a human, and it should be a very seamless pickup. And the car, well, it's a Mercedes, and it's pretty darn good value too. So I'm hopeful that this works out well, and in future I'd love to do more business with them. We'll see. I rolled up at Gare du Nord about 65 minutes before my train departure, and I headed upstairs where you go through firstly exiting France and then you go through entering the UK. So now that I've gone through both of those passport controls, I'm effectively in Britain now. But the prices in the duty-free stores are still in euros. What you will notice when you enter the lounge here is that, unlike say an airport lounge where you're waiting for a flight, everybody here has got at least one suitcase. So it's quite populated with luggage. Well, welcome on board the Eurostar. I'm about mid-cabin. I'm in a single seat. Opposite me there's a double, there's 4s over there, there's 2 that face each other in front of me. So there's plenty of seating options. Oh, and I've got a rear-facing seat, so I'll be going backwards to London. And I think this train is full.
Sit back, relax, enjoy it. Too late, we trapped you, we closed the door.
Well, it's 2:43 and that's the exact time that our train was due to depart, and we've just taken off. Hour and 51 minutes after we departed Paris, we've just come out of the tunnel and we are now on British soil. 2 hours and 24 minutes after setting off from Paris, we're here in a little bit cooler London at St Pancras Station. Now, I'm about to go and see if this Virtuo car rental thing's as good as it sounds. I happen to know where my car is right now. Just got to go and pick it up. This is my car because I've got the registration number here. It was pretty darn good value. I think this was about £300 for 5 days for a Merc. I tried to book through Hertz and Sixt and all those mobs from the central London. Easily double the price when I looked at it. And lesser cars. So now I need to get all this luggage into this car, and I'm not sure whether the keys are just inside there. This is my car, but it's locked. I don't know where I get the keys or how I get in, because there's nothing said on this app. I did hope this would be really simple, but I found the car, so I'm one step towards my goal. It says my car's now available. Yeah, I've just seen this on the app, download my key. So I press this button here. Is it gonna work? Oh yeah, it's downloading. Now I wonder whether, if somehow this car just suddenly becomes active. Go to my car, yeah. Still locked, still confused. I worked it out. Hey, well done. That's a very clever bit of kit. Next time it'll take me a minute instead of 5. And one good thing for me is I'm back driving on the same side of the road as I drive on in Australia, so hopefully no near hits as I had a couple of weeks ago in Nashville, where I came around a corner on the wrong side of the road in the country. Very lucky not to clean up a car. Oh, and another thing, I have to do a damage report in the first 15 minutes of me getting the car. So that's what I'll do now. I'll walk around here and make sure there is nothing damaged. Well, I got in the car. Now the next challenge is to start it, because there's a start button, but every time I press it, it says put the key in the spot. I got to the bottom of that. You had to complete that damage control report, And there was no damage, so I said yes, and now the app's allowed me to start the car. So this is effectively my key, or the app is anyway. Oh, it obviously recognises the number plate. Okay, let's go to Silverstone, come on. Well, after 2 hours on the road, I've finally arrived here in the seething metropolis that is known as Milton Keynes, and I'm at one of my favourite hotels though. This is the Moxie, a trendy, young sort of brand, and I've got a larger than normal room with an extra bed for my wife's sister, but it's a good spot. It's about a 25-minute drive to Silverstone from here, and it's a lovely hotel with a great buzz downstairs in the lobby. Just before you go, I'm going to tell you a little story about my luggage, which BA misplaced. In short, I went from Nashville to New York to London to Vienna for the last race. However, when I got to London, I could see, because I got an air tag, that my bag's still in New York. That's an inconvenience. So I go and report it, and they say you can't until you get to Vienna. So I wait a bit longer, go to Vienna airport, obviously get off my flight. Hey, here's my luggage. It's still in New York. Yep, okay, well, thank you very much. Here's your report. A day later, no response. A day and a half later, I can still see it sitting in New York. I'm starting to panic because I'm only in Austria for 5 days. Just over 2 days in, and I still can't get much sense out of the BA people. They're sending me all these emails saying, oh, can you please describe your bag? We're trying to find it. And I respond with, I know where the bag is. It's in New York. Just get it to Vienna and then deliver it to me, please. 2.5 days in, I see on the app, the bag's finally got to London. And then about 7 hours later, I see it's in Vienna. A number of hours after I see it's arrived in Vienna, I make plenty of calls to BA, finally get through to a human, and they take all this information again and say, yeah, look, we're going to get it delivered to you. Someone will be in touch. Of course, no one's in touch. So 3 and a bit days into me having no luggage, I finally see that it's been sent to Graz, which is an hour closer than Vienna. And I'm still getting messages saying, can you please describe your bag? We're trying to find it. I'm thinking, I know where it is. In the end, I just bit the bullet and I drove an hour there. According to the app, I'm right next to the bag, so I can only think that it's the other side of that wall. Das ist es.
Er ist hier.
Then I get in my car and drive back, and about 20 minutes later, I get an email. Good news, the courier is going to deliver your bag to you today. I am the courier. I had the bag. So BA, that was a pretty ordinary effort. I think you need to work on your systems. If you've enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. Subscribe? Yes. Could you please subscribe? And become a member if you're not already one. You'll find all of my digital F1 images at prostarpics.com for a whole range of F1 merchandise, signed prints, F1 photo books, and wall art. Go to kimelman.com and for my best images live from the track. And all during the week, find them at Instagram at Kim Illman. Thanks for watching.
And stay passionate.
Your sister. Her sister? Did I say her sister or my sister?
Yeah, doesn't matter. I'm here with my sister.
Oh, bugger. My sister's dead.